I don't believe Todd means well.
Is that a hole in the level geometry? It just might be.
I believe that's a hole in your pocket where the money should go.
Damn it, not the money.
Yeah, that's a tear in the geometry. Sure.
But it's okay in this game. It works.
Yes. Yeah,
You've got the narrative
yeah, it makes
conceit
sense
for
here. It's broken because Alan wrote it that way.
That's right.
There's a coffee stain on the paper here.
There's a coffee stain on the level geometry here.
I would love to see, like, imagine you're playing like a Tearaway or like a Paper Mario or something, and you just encounter a coffee stain that takes up the entire screen and it like warps as you try and walk over it. I really like those games that try and do like physical arts and crafts with their asset creation. I really like that stuff. It hasn't been fully realized yet in a way that I like, but Paper Mario and the Origami King did some pretty good stuff with it that I liked. Tearaway was kind of all about that, but it was on the Vita, so nobody played it.
How would you feel if I told you that you were a coffee stain on the world?
I've been called worse. I'll probably be called worse by the end of the day.
Probably be called worse by the end of this stream.
That's right, you son of a bitch. I know what you're planning. On the 4 etchings. My explorations of the Foundation have resulted in yet another mystery, a fascinating series of etchings on large stone tablets. The tablets themselves are likely not native to the Foundation, seeing as they're slabs of sedimentary stone. Quite different from the cave's categorization-defying rock. Their placement and form are also too intentional to be naturally occurring. But who braved this place to carry them in? And for what purpose? I discovered a 5-point macro entanglement between the tablets, with a pillar at its center. These links seem to extend beyond our level of consciousness, to some astral realm I can't detect. Is Northmore's board somehow tied to all this? The etchings on these tablets are similarly curious. They differ from the cave paintings in style and technique, so are clearly not of the same origin. Are they the visual narration of some event? Or do they indicate intent, a wish, a plan?
Security chief.
They seem only to consist of a tree and a pillar, but the sizes of either are inconsistent. What does that signify? I'm missing key pieces of this puzzle, and it's unlikely that I'll ever find them. It's a big, spooky rock.
That's right.
Can't wait to show my friends.
And there's
spooky.
your Meteor Hill summary,
Hmm.
which I have been led to believe is important.
See what we got. Meteor Hill, AWE 3. Note, per archival mandates 8.a, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. The paradimensional occurrence consisted of 3 sequential sinkholes induced by subterranean implosions, revealing foreign material of magmatic qualities. Event response. A local chapter of the Youth Science League were participating in an archaeological dig on the hill when the event occurred. Many boys were injured in the resulting collapse. Some touched the magma directly. Bureau agents arrived at the scene 7 days after the incident. Samples of the lava-like material were taken. The area was quickly sealed off from the public at our recommendation. Our aim was to ensure all remnants of the material were rendered inoffensive. The magma descended too deeply into the earth to retrieve. Foul-smelling odors were detected in the area, which were hypothesized as being the dissipated elements of vapor trail left at the scene. All acquired material was delivered to Washington for examination at the Bureau's on-site laboratory. Sucks for those kids.
Yeah. Like,
about,
you don't even have to touch lava directly for it to hurt you.
No. And we talked about that in Dead Space.
Did.
Just the fact that lethal convection... The fact that lethal convection doesn't exist in most media is hilarious to me. But I have a feeling that it exists in this one. Everybody was injured, or many were injured, but only some actually touched magma. You gotta imagine that the people who touched the magma probably just died.
Instantaneously. If you touch magma, you just explode. It's a known fact.
Yeah, that's right. All of your hydration leaks out through your hand and into the hot surface, leaving you a dry and shriveled California raisin.
Not even Ati. No way he'd stand for this. There's an elevator, which I'm sure is super safe.
Doomed to be like a CG monster for the rest of your life.
That's right.
Which card goes where?
Oh, fuck, not this again.
Gotta do a puzzle.
Time to do a puzzle.
It's alright. I believe in you. Plug your controller into controller port 2. Destroy the statues. Well, this isn't too bad. I imagine that there are probably enough context clues in here to be like, oh, this is where this would be, of course.
Good thing I didn't destroy it all.
How can you be sure?
Some of it is still here. I didn't destroy all of it. I may have destroyed most of it.
Well, that's fine. I mean, you've mostly got it. It's just like context clues in the environment. Pick up that holotape next to some skeletons. Oh no, turns out a story happened here. Oh wow, what a great open world.
It
Fuck.
worked. Now I just have to get on the
man,
road
I'm
to the
sorry, I
elevator that goes who knows how far.
I didn't realize the amount of pent-up aggression I had for those games.
And who can blame you? Basement lab, here we go.
Dust. Still, this lab's way.
You know, I
heavier
saw
than
a
the
thing
dark
going
ones.
around last week that was Adventure Time Obsidian, and apparently it's like a movie or like a special or something that is being made.
Yeah.
It just happens to be called Obsidian. I thought when I read that, I thought, wait, is Obsidian making an Adventure Time game?
There were
What?
expectations. And they were not met.
Not the case. Did you ever get into Adventure Time? Because I did not.
I watched maybe the first couple of seasons.
I feel like I got around there. I feel like I got maybe halfway through the first season. I saw stuff that I liked, but it moved at such a slow pace that I was like, I got stuff to do. How many seasons are there? Oh, there's that many seasons? I got stuff to do.
Adventure Time was one of those things for me that was dangerously close to becoming the like of Steven Universe and also other things that we liked at around that time. And I was like,
made such a heavy door down
I was like, nah, I don't have room for another one of these in my life.
See,
I don't have room for something else that makes people behave like this.
That was kind of it was a similar series of events that I took with Steven Universe, where I was like, this is very much in my wheelhouse, and I like almost everything that's going on here. But it didn't seem to have any respect for the time of its viewers. You know what? Like, I appreciated what they were doing, and I really liked a lot of the storytelling. And the music was all good, and the animation was great. Paul Robertson has great art, and I was like, I don't know. Did Paul Robertson work on that, or is it just Cal art style?
I don't know.
I don't know. It looked and sounded great, and I liked all the characters, and I really wanted to see where they went. But it just seemed like every episode started like a myth arc that never got elaborated on. And by the time they actually got around to answering questions, I was like, dude, it's been like 3 years. I got stuff to do. I cared years ago, I no longer care. And then I heard nothing but bad things about where it went, like over-explaining or explaining badly. And I was like, oh man, I really wanted to like the show a whole lot.
For me, it was like, I used to be the kind of person who would have been into this. I'm not anymore.
That's fair.
Also, look at the way that big laser just cuts through the environment. That's super cool.
I like that a lot. I feel like I have something like that happens every year or so. I'll get way into something. And around that year, I want to say that I rewatched Twin Peaks. And I was like, now this is a show.
I think
This is
that's
a show
a better
that has...
use of your time. Fucking don't
And half
at
of
me.
that show is not good. You know, I don't even know that I would say that.
This looks like the
A
nail.
large
Only
section of season 2 is not what you want it to be.
A document. Is this in some kind of code?
But it's also not
Can't
bad.
read a word of it.
I love
I should
it.
take this back
One
to
of my
Emily
favorite shows of
and
all
tell her I
time.
got into Ash's secret lab.
Northmore, final something.
Mm-hmm. Let me see what we got here. Hey, do me a favor and look at your map real quick. What section are you in?
Warehouse.
What's like subsection? What is this called?
Basement lab.
I don't. From the desk of Director Northmore to Dr. Theodore Ash, Jr. As Director of the Federal Bureau of Control and chosen representative / liaison / benefactor of the greater authority of the Board, I demand your immediate withdrawal from the Foundation. Prior memos issued broadly to Foundation staff called for swift reassignment of all personnel to the upper levels of the House. All staff complied, except you. This demonstrates a lack of respect for my office and the Board itself. This is their house, and we are their guests. We should conduct ourselves accordingly. Normally, such insubordination would be grounds for dismissal, but out of respect for your late father, consider this instead my final warning. The Board and Director Ash chose me as successor to the office, and no amount of petulance will change that. Indeed, your actions seem to suggest you know better than myself, and by extension, the Board. Permit me to assure you that that is not possible. Sincerely, Director Broderick Northmore. Northmore seems like an asshole.
Little bit, yeah.
Seems like a terrible person.
He seems keen to swing the name of the Board around like a cudgel.
Also, he has adopted their way of speech.
He sure has.
Which, good, not great. And here I am, really kind of hoping that I haven't accidentally destroyed these headphones somehow. I feel like that's entirely a possibility. I kept pretty good care of them. But now I wonder. I'm left here to wonder in this state. And isn't it?
I am just so glad that I finally got the Magnum that I wanted for the whole game. I'm just disappointed that it took me this long to get it.
It was very powerful. It's especially powerful against living things.
Better take it with you, says Director Trench.
Oh no. I hope this isn't Dr. Darling's blood. Who do you like more, York or Dr. Darling?
That's an interesting comparison to evoke. Why York?
Because I love both of them.
I don't think I can pick one.
They're both the best character in their respective game. I don't know that I can pick one above the other. Because I really like them both. You see that cave etching?
You can climb it.
I found Ash's secret lab. Excellent. Please tell me everything. Spare no details. Well, there was another cave.
Hey, Emily, I
walls were
got some
covered
stuff.
in
I got some
paintings
stuff as
of
it turns out.
eyeballs. The research seemed dedicated to studying a kind of smaller version of the nail. It looked like the same material as the one up here, but just a different shape.
Well, are you sure you didn't see any functioning prototypes? Or at least some schematics? I mean, Dr. Ash was a very accomplished engineer.
None. Sorry. I did find this handwritten note.
Wow. Ash had terrible handwriting. Never meet your heroes, right? That looks like a transcribed conversation between Ash and someone named F. Ooh. Oh, this is juicy. This'll take me days to parse out. Maybe weeks.
Have you ever thought about taking a vacation, Emily?
Are you kidding? This is my vacation, Jesse.
Fucking fair enough, I guess.
Can't do much with that. At least she's happy.
At least she's happy.
She's also a pretty good character. That she's just like one of the few people who's not like
Trying
actively
to kill you.
scheming or having machinations. Yeah.
She's just kind of
like
there to help. It catches me off guard.
It's so weird to me that like we've reached the level in media and games and life that when a character or person comes along and they're just there to help, it's like, I don't trust you.
Don't trust you.
What's your game? What's your angle? And usually asking a question like that is answered with like a smile and a handshake. You're like, I don't understand.
And that is the same whether they're trying to kill you or not.
If somebody's trying to kill you when they offer you a handshake, that's dangerous.
Dangerous.
What if Dr. Darling was the dark presence all along? Hold on, I'm gonna type something into Google and I'm gonna see. Please don't give me anything. No. Okay, never mind. I'm good. I wrote Dr. Darling's Sonic the Hedgehog fanfiction, and instead I just got a bunch of Sonic the Hedgehog fanfiction, which I guess I don't know what I was expecting, but
As good as you could hope for.
Sonic EXE in Love fanfiction? Oh my god. Oh my god. No, thank you.
Oh my god, what's wrong with your face?
That's like writing a fan fiction about Squidward, specifically from Squidward's suicide, falling in love.
People need to take a fucking chill pill, man. That's all
Everybody deserves
That's all
love.
I have to say about that.
Homer is dead. Bart is dead. Shit, wait, which one was it? I think it's Bart is dead. Where everybody starts like melting.
Who comes up with this stuff?
Like
Mannequin
12-year-olds.
supplement. Read it and stop talking about fanfic. That's an order.
Alright, hold on.
From your
here.
director.
Oh, well. You don't pay me.
I pay you in dimensional stability. I pay you in you not being a pretzel.
Shit, I'm sorry. I was thinking about pretzels. What's it called?
Mannequin supplement.
Mannequin. Okay. Mannequin. Pretzel sauce. Fuck, dude. Okay. I'm probably coughing. Baby trick. I instead I loaded up the lyrics to Just a Baby, but what I wasn't expecting was I was greeted with just a full page image of that Eddie Murphy head from like Norbert, but on the back of a car on the freeway. I hear the train coming, I hear that railroad train. Waste Mannequin, AI7KE. The item was last owned by Madame Redacted, an operatic performer from Berlin. After her career ended in a public scandal, she relocated to Redacted, Maine for reasons unknown. With her came the trappings of her old life, including this item. Locals report that she rarely left her home in the short years she spent in Redacted. After her death, caused by Redacted, the state held a public auction of her belongings, seeing as how she had no known relatives. Various conflicting first-hand reports exist, but testimonies provided by witnesses of the event do contain some common elements. Most every witness saw numerous mannequins break the house's windows, tumbling outside. Some witnesses report bright lights, some report high-pitched singing. These are unverified. Numerous civilians inside the house at the time of the incident were hospitalized for various injuries. 2 were crushed to death. Agents were dispatched upon seeing an article regarding these events during the Bureau's daily scans of national periodicals. The item was quickly identified and brought to the Bureau. Just a creepy, fucked up mannequin, I guess.
Just a big, stupid jellyfish.
Big, stupid jellyfish. There was another collectible in this game that I really wanted you to see. I need to figure out which one it was. It's a really, really good one that I think you appreciate. Yeah, okay. That's the one. Oh god, there are actually a lot of these, and some of them are specifically only in the Foundation DLC. Did you pick up any collectibles for America overnight?
A few.
Okay, so in noticing that there are a bunch of them, the thing is they're all like, well, almost all of them are multimedia, not like readable. Essentially what America Overnight is one of my favorite things in the fiction of this game, which is one of the Bureau's ways that they try to limit the flow of information and kind of control what's out there is they directly fund a like Alex Jones type talk radio that goes deep into discussing like the mechanics and actual details of tons of objects of power and AWEs, but they just make it a radio show so that nobody believes them. Like they essentially fund like a podcast.
It's mental inoculation.
It's exactly that. Which I really enjoy. Between Control and Spider-Man, we've got some really good like radio shows and podcasts and games.
How many AWE research areas are waiting in forgotten sectors?
The fact that J. Jonah Jameson is a
I'll need to look
podcaster
into them
in
once the
Spider-Man
hiss has been
PS4
dealt
makes me
with.
so happy. Because he is straight up just the Alex Jones type.
Mm-hmm.
He shows up again in Miles Morales, which makes me happy.
Does he do the same thing?
Yes, he's still got the same show.
Good.
Only now he has to deal with 2 Spider-Men.
Not 1, but 2. Concurrently, even.
I'm the only
Did I ever
one
tell
who
you
knows
about
what
the
really
running
happened
gag
in
in
Ordinary.
30 Rock about Spider-Man, the stage
When
show?
this is over, maybe I'll write it all down.
I'm gonna take your stunned silence as a
Full
no.
disclosure.
No.
Are you aware of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark?
No.
Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark is a Broadway musical based on Spider-Man, of course.
That explains why I don't know
And-
about it.
But the reason that I ask you what if you know about it or not is because it's kind of infamous in that it's one of the most expensive, possibly still the most expensive Broadway show to be ever produced because of how much of a flop it was. It had a troubled history of just like constant injuries on set and people like falling from rafters and like, you know, just awful garbage happening. And the show itself is not good. It does the adaptation thing of taking like the very basic plot and then twisting it around and trying to make everything new and original, and it just makes it all bad. As somebody who loves Broadway and loves Spider-Man, I can absolutely say that Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark is one of the worst shows, period. 30 Rock has a version of that where they have a running gag in which people keep talking about Spider-Man 2, Too Many Spider-Men, and it's just like Spider-Man after Spider-Man after Spider-Man falling from the rafters or getting set on fire. And it's just that. But the name Spider-Man 2, Too Many Spider-Men is what I want to call Miles Morales. 30 Rock is a really good show. And you can tell that it's good because it got very much canceled.
That's how you know.
They had an episode and they were aware of it too. Like they had terrible ratings. And I remember they had Weird Al on as a guest for one of their episodes where he sings the ending credits, which are it's normally just like a jazz number with no music, like an acid jazz track.
Uh-huh.
And for one of the episodes, they have him sing the ending theme, and he's like, looks like we're getting canceled. Thanks for watching to all of our fans. Yeah, all 2 of you. 30 Rock never stood a chance.
Never stood a chance.
And it's really good. the part where Tracy Morgan gets like a fever dream about Richard Nixon because he's listening to "We Didn't Start the Fire" on a cassette player, and he's stabbed. So he just takes a screwdriver and stabs it and electrocutes himself into having a fever dream about Nixon. What a good show. If you ever want to see Tina Fey and is it Adam Baldwin or Alec Baldwin? One of those two. The good Baldwin. The one from fuck, not A Few Good Men. What's the other one? I always forget. It might be. It's not A Few Good Men. A Few Good Men is was it 12 Angry Men? No. My brain is melting here. But it's the whole you wanna have coffee, you wanna have a coffee break, then close. Coffee's for closers. That whole thing of his.
I will tell you right now that live action TV is so fucking far outside my wheelhouse. I can't help you.
I understand. You might like 30 Rock in that it is more of a cartoon than it is it's live action, but it's a cartoon.
I get that.
It is like, it's pure farce. It's like across the board, really, really good, really good performances also. It's essentially Tina Fey writing a comedic series about her time based when she was working as a writer for SNL. And just pure degenerative nonsense. I should really rewatch it. Seem a little lost.
I am quite lost.
I mean, it's a big area. It's a big area this bureau will control. Control grand finale.
Hey, the grand finale already happened. This is just overtime now. It's
You know what I miss?
what?
I miss that bug in early Team Fortress 2. You would go into overtime, and the announcer would just say overtime, 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 like overlapped every half second.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why. I mean, I know exactly why I just thought of that, but I really like that. More games need that. And then they patched it out, and then people started patching it back in on their private servers.
Yeah.
I love that. That's the kind of stuff I miss about, like, peer-to-peer games instead of live service.
That is not peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer is bad, but I know what you mean. You mean community-hosted servers.
Community-hosted servers is what I mean.
Peer-to-peer is what Grand Theft Auto 5 is. While
What,
also
a scam?
While also being live service. It is both of those things.
Like a money laundering scam?
Mm-hmm.
Designed to
peer-to-peer
trick
is a
people.
network model.
Yeah. Okay. I understand what you're saying.
I know about these kinds of things. It's my job to be the one of us who knows about these kinds of things. Why can't I get through this door?
Have you tried kicking it real hard?
Sterling AWE. I can't get in here.
Have you tried punching it real hard?
Doesn't work.
Use your head. Have you tried
show you how I
really
use
hard?
my head.
On my head, on my head, on my head.
I'm gonna make a poll that nobody will care about except me. Super Jail was really good.
Super Jail was really good. How many seasons did that get?
Like 4.
That's 2 more than I thought it got.
Well, the second season was the best one.
I think I
the
stopped
two that
watching
came
at the end of the
after were
second.
pretty good, but the second season was the best one.
Super Jail was pretty good. And yet I don't remember almost anything about it. Except for, like, characters.
You probably remember all the important bits. I wish I could hit this button again.
I remember that episode where they had, like, the dance or whatever, and everybody just... It devolves into a brawl.
Wait, was it a brawl or an orgy?
Pretty sure it was a brawl.
I think
It would have been early on.
I think it was both. You're thinking of the, It was in season
better.
1.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember that episode.
I remember that. It was good. Although, you know, I think everything that I liked from Super Jail, I either got from, is it Ohio, Illinois, or Ohio, Indiana?
China, Illinois.
China, Illinois. I got from China, Illinois, and I got from Metal.
It was that Brad Neely show.
Yeah. It's really, that show is really good, too.
That show was pretty good. I can't figure out how to get in here.
You've got to get in there.
This has devolved into a podcast.
Yeah, sure has. Which one of us is going to start doing drugs live on stream? It's not going to be me.
Technically speaking, I'm already on drugs.
Oh no.
Because I have problems and I need to take drugs to fix them. I am funny in the head, you see.
You know, maybe that just makes you the more mature of the two of us, because instead I look at my problems and I'm like,
can I punch them?
I could solve this, but instead, what if I just rewatched my box set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and let that solve my problem instead? And then 5 years pass, and I'm like, wait, it's 2020? I could have sworn that I did.
Supplement. That sounds like an Alan Wake thing.
Yes, that's one of the 2 main game Easter eggs that's in the Panopticon.
It's not in the Panopticon.
Or typewritten page, you said.
Typewritten
Or
page
year.
supplement. I feel like a dumbass.
Typewritten page, AI83KE. The page was discovered in an instance of the Ocean View Motel and Casino that was linked to the investigations sector. The page had been pushed into the motel's corridor from under the door with the symbol of a spiral. Redacted. For 10 years, quote, and this is in quotes. For 10 years, I've tried to write my escape, only sinking deeper. I used to know where fiction ends and reality begins. Here, they are all the same. It's a hideous trap. My every thought made real. Fear. Desire. How can I ever know for sure I've escaped and not just lost in my own fantasy of it? That thought alone can drive me mad. End quote. The identifiable words in the scratched out portion. Falls. Haunting. Wake. Light switch. Ocean. Too late. And the final sentence. You have been warned. Submitted for your approval.
Yeah?
2008 third-person shooter by Remedy Entertainment. It was a great game that never got a sequel. I'll point out that, did you ever play, Kingsway?
No.
Kingsway came out, I want to say 2017, and it's like a RPG that mimics, the interface mimics like Windows 97, and you're just like, you know, tabbing through browsers and stuff like that. On, it kind of reminds me of God, this might be This might cement me as old, but it reminds me of the browser game that you could play for Trogdor,
Yeah.
where it was like designed to look like a Windows 98 version of a Commodore 64 throwback game. It's like one of those, but like a full-on RPG.
That is oddly specific.
It's neat. It's very, very cool. I guess something that people might be a little bit more familiar with is Hypnospace Outlaw. It does a very similar thing to Hypnospace Outlaw.
That
Whereas
I have heard
Hypnospace-
of. I haven't played it, but I've heard of it.
It's good. If it ever goes on sale for like $5, that would be worth streaming. Because I think you would get an enjoyment out of that. It's a lot of reading.
I would get one enjoyment out of it. Exactly one. No more, no less.
You would get a single enjoyment. One enjoyment crystal.
Redeemable at a kiosk. They have those now. You know the ones.
Yeah. Yes. Wait. Where are you going with this? Because you passed a radio or something.
I'm just trying to get where I'm going. Wherever that may be.
Okay. Hey man, me too, you know? You understand? We're all just trying to get where we're going. In this wild, woolly world.
That's right.
The object can be found in sealed threshold corridor. To reach this location, you first need to complete another side quest, a matter of time. The item of power lies among the bricks and is easy to disenchant.
A matter of time.
This quest starts automatically after Fridge Duty side mission, which, yeah, we did that.
I don't see it. I don't see it here. I don't see it as having completed it. I have Fridge Duty. I finished it.
Yeah, we finished that on stream. You've done parts of this.
Yeah, parts of it.
Yeah, you need to go to apparently the sealed threshold corridor.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Maybe it's just not open without that, That might be a thing that opens up after yeah, I guess you just can't do this one right now. Literally just the door isn't open. What a mysterious game. It's a dangerous game, some might say.
Some might say that.
I really should have picked up that Kingdom Hearts bundle when it was like $20. You know how much it is when it's not?
$50
$99.99
for Kingdom Hearts.
for all of the Kingdom Hearts. Not even all of them. All of the console Kingdom Hearts. It doesn't have like all of the Gaiden games.
Ugh.
I don't understand Kingdom Hearts.
Can anybody
feel like
truly claim to understand Kingdom Hearts? I think the answer is no.
I feel like I understand Kingdom Hearts on a level of like, if I were to put myself in the shoes of somebody who played it when it came out, I think I could totally understand the reverence for it. Like, people like that in the way that people like Metal Gear and Final Fantasy VII and Ocarina of Time. And I can understand that. It's a very emotionally driven, simple series. Like, simple in storytelling, not simple in actual plot, if that makes sense. The plot is garbage and makes no sense.
Shocker. This is turning into a huge waste of time. I should do something else before we have to end for the day.
Memory and thought. Jet black and clawed. Oh. Children of the DMCA. I'm so glad that that video didn't get copyright claimed. I'm very happy about that.
We will. What will we do? We'll go and send a chain letter. That should be fun.
Oh god, yeah. This is the lucky bunny. It's graced your timeline.
That's right.
If you don't retweet this within the next 5 minutes, then no lucky for you. This email will kill you in 7 days unless you forward it to everybody in your list. Also, I'm a Saudi Arabian prince. Give me money, please.
Hold on. I got something real good here.
Okay.
One of my favorite things. I should have
all right.
I should have it pinned somewhere.
Sure.
Should I just read it, or I'm gonna put it up on the stream because it's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's fine. You go ahead. I got something for when you're done.
I'm gonna do it. It's my favorite thing.
Okay. Let's see what we got. Mm-hmm. You sound like you sound like you have a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm here for it. I'm wrapped in attention. Also, I don't know when it's going to show up on screen.
Any second now.
Okay. That's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot.
There's a bullet for every second of your life might be one of my favorite things ever.
That has a similar energy for me to the mobile game that somebody tried to put out and like pass off as Death Stranding, where they were like, everybody knows that Hideo Kojumbo is secret genius. Hold on, I got something for you too, okay?
Yeah?
Yeah, hold on. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about a goddamn thing. There you go. This is what I have to contribute to this conversation. We're done. We're out.
We got what we wanted out of that.
Well, not quite. There's one more thing that I do. Okay, now I'm done. That's all I actually wanted. The breakdown of SpongeBob SquarePants is incredible.
That's the moment when I knew that we had something special. Okay, now I can copy the chain letter. I had to defeat all the enemies first.
This certainly
good.
feels familiar.
I can't wait to tab back in and see that everyone has left. Oh no, somebody's still here. Good. You know what? Salute to you, brave viewer, for managing.
Is that a piece of flavor dialogue that happens if you do this after you beat the game?
What was it?
She says this feels familiar when you're hitting the copy machine.
It's possible.
Because that makes me
I
think
will
of the
tell
bit
you.
when you're in your brainscape.
I will tell you that a significant amount of changes do occur in the oldest house once you've beaten the game. Like, things in the environment actually do alter and change. So it's possible.
Possible.
You were definitely meant to come back in and do this.
Alright, where are the mail chutes? I need one of those pneumatic tubes.
Shoot.
Shoot. Here we go. Found it.
That's 1 cent.
This is stupid. I love it.
When you dance down the street like you've had too much feet, you're in love.
When you've had too much wine.
You've
Pizza.
had too much wine. Bells. I wish I had some type of bell that I could ring here.
I also do not have one, unfortunately.
Bells.
Bells.
Pizza's pretty good too.
I do like me some pizza.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about the moments in the album where, like, a single word will get stretched out for like 2 or 3 bars, and it's way too long, and it's really good. That's Amore does it once with like a word, then it just kicks back in. I also really I talked about this with you yesterday, but I really like in the Alanis Morissette version when you just start hearing the Foley sound effect for rain, and she stops, and then she's like, rain! Like, she's just become aware of the fact that rain has entered the song.
Yep.
God, isn't it ironic? And who would have thought it'd figure?
2 down, 1 to go.
It's a really good track. That's Amore, or sorry, Amore might be.
Damn it.
I don't know. I don't know what my favorite one is on that. I really don't. I think it might be Johnny. Because
Johnny's
I
pretty
unironically really love Rick Astley and Never Gonna Give You Up. And I also really like both 9 Inch Nails and Johnny Cash, and his cover of Hurt is really good. And the fact that it's a duet is amazing. And the fact that like that song starts and Rick Astley starts singing and people are jeering him, and then Johnny Cash comes in and they start cheering. And you know, that's not even necessarily, like, that's not even true to life, because as far as I know, people love Rick Astley. I don't think people would boo him if he started singing that. And because you remember he did it at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade some years ago.
Hmm.
Do you remember that?
No.
They had a Foster's the Home for Imaginary Friends float, and it was coming down the street, and they were singing like "Thank You for Being a Friend" or something. And about halfway through the song, it stops and it starts playing Never Gonna Give You Up, and Rick Astley just comes through one of the doors on the float and starts singing live, and people go nuts.
That's pretty good.
If anybody is curious, there just look up Never Gonna Give You Up, Foster's Home, like Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I think it was like 2007, 2008, maybe even earlier. It's really good.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. That's another thing about Neil Cicierega's stuff. It brings me back to a different time. There are fucking modem sounds in that album. The Yahoo jingle is in that album.
It's the first thing you hear. And it goes on.
Yes, it does.
It goes on.
It goes on and it starts harmonizing with itself like Wonderwall.
It does.
Did he do Drywall? Or was that someone else?
I don't know.
Because I know he did. I know he did Wonderwall with like the consonants removed.
Wonderwall?
Or sorry, the vowels. Yeah, the vowels removed, and that's great. Oh fuck! That's a really good track. Drywall is really good.
And that's
Drywall
right.
is like uncomfortable to listen
Should take
to.
care of any bad karma or whatever. But how did that
Yeah,
first letter
no.
get in
Neil
here?
Cicierega also did Drywall.
I wonder if I could track it to the source.
Wonderwall. Wonderwall is great. Wonderwall is great. Today,
Beep 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 beep.
I don't believe that anybody feels.
That's the part that gets me.
Because at that point, it stops being.
Guess I should just follow the tube.
At that point, it stops being anything other than what it is, and like
So you're the one.
it
sending
starts.
spam mail.
It stops sentence mixing and starts shifting the pitches into inhuman ranges. And the part where he starts singing back, he starts singing the whole song backwards.
No more superstitious blackmail.
Got a mod called Spam Mail. What's that about? Weapon damage after kills for spin. That's pretty good. Go ahead and put that on there. Wonder if that stacks.
I wonder. What did you get? Did you get chain letter? Is that what you got?
Spam mail.
Was it a correspondence or an item?
It was a weapon. Weapon upgrade.
Oh, okay.
Don't get too excited now.
I guess not. I'm just getting really excited about Fandrew1149 talking about bigfollows.com.
Speaking of spam mail.
Speaking of spam. Today was gonna be the day, but I'll never become famous by followers, primes, and viewers on bigfollows.com.
That's right.
I don't believe that anybody feels the way that I do about them now. The part of Wonderwall that gets me is when is when he starts layering over himself. Because it's 'cause maybe, and then it comes maybe, and he starts harmonizing with his own vocals. Because it does the same thing there too. After all, it like trills up and goes back down.
It's a good time.
It's just close enough to the regular song that I can listen to one or the other. It's so good.
Can we also talk about wall spin? Because
I don't think I've seen Wall Spin.
Really? It was on Mouth Moods, I think.
I didn't. Mouth Dreams is the first album of his that I've listened to the entire way through.
You should pull up Wall Spin. It's pretty good.
Thankfully, I've got these headphones. Let's see what we got here. Well, I know that it's got to be Wonderwall and At Least You Spin Me Right Round.
You are correct.
God, that opening guitar is just like... Wonderwall is enough of a joke. Oh my god, there it goes, yeah.
Barrels full of hazardous
Throw it back to you.
Seems like I'm breaking some environmental regulations on waste disposal, but if that's what Ahti wants, then I'll get it done. Yeah, backbeat. There we go. Oh, that's pretty good. I skipped about... Oh, okay, I see. I know where you like this song. I just got... Yeah. The part where they start mixing in Wall is good. That is good. Jacksepticeye just went live with Bloodborne, and his notification for it is Babby's game. And that's it. I would love to play Bloodborne. I don't think I'll be able to do that until I get a PlayStation 5.
Do you not have a... You have a 4, don't you?
I do, but it's, like, in the other room and attached to the rest of the, It's essentially, like, the other part of the house's entertainment center.
I see.
And I would have to hook things up in such a way.
It would become a task. I get you.
It would become a task. Herculean in effort.
I hate
like
it
Sisyphus.
when things are tasks. It's my least favorite thing.
Well, luckily for you, you'll find that there's an enemy specifically catering to your needs and your wishes in Spider-Man, known as the Taskmaster.
Does he do all the tasks so I don't have to?
No, he makes you do all the tasks, and that's why you hate him.
Wow, fuck that guy.
He's also like, you know how Slade / Deathstroke is like he's like a mercenary dude with tools. And that's kind of his whole deal, is that he's hyper competent.
Yeah.
That's him in that game. He basically makes you do a bunch of challenge missions and random things here and there. And when you eventually do all of them, he shows up as a boss fight, and he's like, "I've been reading you. I've been watching all of your moves, Spider-Man." And you have to fight him hand to hand in the middle of the street. And he's just like countering all of your gadgets and things with like electrical nets. It's a cool boss fight. Unless you do my favorite thing in that scenario, which is to put on the suit upgrade that just lets you ignore invincibility frames, and you just start punching through his guard into like the back of a truck.
Mold's gotten in here too?
That game is so good.
All right. Let's get cleaning, she said, cocking her gun.
Spider-Man PS4 was my favorite game of that year, I think.
Time to, I guess, eradicate some mold.
The plan to eradicate the Saiyans.
The plan to
That's a lot of
clone lots
mold.
of pop chins. You need to watch Pop Team Epic. It's really good.
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Really? Because it's not the first time I've said it.
It's the first time I've heard you say it.
Also not true.
Maybe I just wasn't listening.
Or maybe you just don't remember.
Maybe I don't remember. When did you tell? When have you said this before?
Like when I first watched it, I was like, you would probably like this a lot.
It's one of those things that I've heard nothing but good things about, and that makes me hesitant in that weird way. I get a good. It kind of seems like Lucky Star, but instead of like wholesome funny, it's like Always Sunny kind of funny.
You might have the wrong read on it.
It seems like. Okay.
It is.
What? Give me the lowdown on it.
It is skit-based and nonsensical, dips its toes into parody, but for the most part is just like... I'm not sure how to put it other than to say like it follows its own rules.
What is it, like Azumanga Daioh?
Maybe.
You ever seen that?
No.
You sound so disappointed. The way that you're describing it to me kind of makes it sound like Azumanga Daioh. Only radically different in tone. I'm aware of like a general tone that Pop Team Epic has.
Mr. Clog.
But that's kind of it.
You've really let yourself go.
I have seen character design, I think, from it. Yeah, I've seen these. Yeah. Okay. I can tell you exactly why I didn't watch Pop Team Epic.
Why is that?
Because everybody looks like thumbs.
Yeah, but
It
it's
looks
kind
like
of the
Thumb
point.
Wars. I didn't know that.
It is the way it is, very much deliberately. Okay, what did that just do? Nothing?
Like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about this, so I'll probably check this out at some point.
Trust me when I say that it is for you. It is the kind of thing that you would watch.
Okay. I see a fucking screenshot of the Pop Team Epic girl, and she's in the back of a cart being driven through a snowy landscape. Like, ah, you finally awake. Does this happen in the show?
It happens once. The first episode is the weakest one, and every episode is better than the last.
I think one of the reasons that I heard that I got turned off of it was that I heard that it was meme.
It was, say that again?
And that made me. It was like meme-y.
No.
Nah. Meme-ish. Meme adjacent.
The Skyrim reference is the only one I can think of that's like that. And it only happens once.
Okay.
And it is what contributes to making
will...
the first episode the weakest one.
Okay. Yeah, I might check that out then. If you're telling me good things about it and that I would like it, I'll probably check it out. I think the last anime that I watched was Kaguya-sama, Love is War, which is really good. And I don't think that you would like it.
Probably not.
I would suggest to you in the same breath that you would probably like Death Note. And
There have
Death
been a
Note
few
is genuinely
things.
really
I
good.
sincerely hope we never meet
There have
again.
been a few things that I've been meaning to watch, but I have not been able to because of reasons.
Yeah, I understand. Well, the thing about I've probably pitched this to you in the past, but imagine like the ways that a battle in JoJo is animated, and like the crazy mind game chess that they play with each other in each encounter, and then prolong that into like a one-on-one detective mind battle animated kind of the same way. It's very much like a detective and killer cat and mouse, but with, I think it was Super Eye Patch Wolf that put out a video that compared it and Kaguya-sama. They put it in a genre that they call non-battle anime, like non-battle battle anime.
I believe that is how you described it to me.
It's really good. You know what, I'm gonna say there is a certain thing that happens in that story that makes it a little hard to watch towards the end, and then the last couple of episodes you get right back up and it ends really strongly. It starts good, and then gets very strong, and then gets a little weak, and then ends really strong. And it's not like a long watch is the other thing.
Really? I thought Death Note was one of those ones that has like 1 million episodes.
No, Death Note has like 2 seasons. Maybe you might be able to say 2.5 seasons if one is longer, but it's really pretty short. It's very concise and has a beginning and end. Yeah, Death Note has 37 episodes.
Well, fuck me then. Pay me no mind.
Okay,
If
yeah,
you're
see,
here, you're probably already doing that.
this is, okay, so technically there's 1 season of 37 episodes, but I think I consider it a 2-season anime because of that story.
The way that it's
That
paced.
was spoiled. Yeah. Because of a thing that happens, it might as well be 2 seasons. It's very good. Also has really good music. You've probably heard you've probably heard at some point in your life a Japanese band called Maximum the Hormone, and they are just like Japanese like speed kind of thrash metal,
Yeah.
mixed with a little bit of screamo, I guess, but not quite to that level. And they do. I remember being very weirded out because they do some of the openings to Death Note, and I remember that being weird because up to that point I had heard, you know, I had watched Evangelion and Cowboy Bebop and Ghost in the Shell and stuff like that, and like anime has a very particular way that it does its openings, and you can definitely tell when an anime, so like when you start Dragon's Dogma and it's playing Into Free, like that's an anime opening. And then you start like season 2 of Death Note and it's just like almost Nathan Explosion screaming into the microphone for like a good 10 seconds.
It's different, shall we say.
It was very odd. Yes. Maximum the Hormone later did a theme song for Frieza in one of the Dragon Ball movies, which was really good. And it's literally just like a guitar wailing and drums pounding and the dude just going Frieza, 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 Frieza. And I'm like, yeah, this is the greatest song ever made.
What more can you really
Chopin
ask
ain't
for?
got shit on him. That's right. I think Chopin would have been in Dragon Ball.
You think so?
About Chopin would have been in this. What was Chopin like? Frédéric Chopin. A virtuoso, some might say. He has over 230 surviving works, which is nice. I'm trying to get like a... sense of his personality. Well,
You're really
his
going for
illness
this,
and
huh?
love of... I want to learn about Chopin. I want to learn something today. His lack of Byronic flamboyance and his aristocratic reclusiveness make him exceptional among his romantic contemporaries. While his illness and his love affairs conform to some of the stereotypes of romanticism, the rarity of his public recitals okay. So he was a very classic reclusive artist, looks like. Unless it turns out that he's like H.P. Lovecraft and was actually a huge racist, he seems like he was probably pretty okay. H.P. Lovecraft, by the way, public service announcement, huge racist.
I have heard tell along those lines that he repented later in life, but I have no idea if that's true.
I mean, you can't name your pet cat a racial slur and then repent later in life. Like,
I mean, can't you? Cats don't live for very long. People live for a long time.
Yeah, people live for a long time, long enough to remember what you named your cat and wrote in all those books. Look, maybe he got better in his later years. I'm just saying, a racist does not, like, deserve the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to take a hardline stance on that. I'm going to take a hardline stance and say that H.P. Lovecraft, with his weird bug eyes and big pill-shaped head with elf ears, maybe doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt for all those things that he wrote.
Now who's the racist?
He was white.
Fucking elf racist. Who am I kidding? You are also an elf.
I was gonna say those elves got what was coming to them, but you're right.
I
practically am an elf. Yeah. But you know what? I own it.
Yeah?
That's right. I'm basically Legolas, let's be honest. I love the sections on his Wikipedia article. Rejuvenation and tragedy, marriage and New York, return to Providence. He's like... These are like, Return to Providence is like the name of a Halo novel.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's gotten in here too.
Wow.
All right. Let's get cleaning.
In an early poem, the 1912, on the creation of, I'm not going to say that word, Lovecraft describes black people not as humans, but, quote, beasts in a semi-human figure filled with vice, unquote. I'm gonna say, I don't care what he did in his later life. He seems like an asshole. Oh, wow. For those of you keeping track at home, he named his cat the same word that I didn't say. Bix, you've written books before.
Fucking no? What? Who told you that?
You have. You've written books before.
I don't even know how to read. What are you talking about? That's why I make you do all the reading.
Well, that explains why we've done 17 parts of this game so far. 19 if you're watching on YouTube.
That's the second time I've seen, like, a weird painting, and then a fucking prompt behind a wall that I can't get to.
Listen, you may be wondering why it is that I've stopped commentating on the game, and the reason for that is because I've been staring at, like, a loading screen for a while, and every time that I attempt to refresh your stream, it just gives me an error. So, I can tell that we're still live, but I can't help you with this.
We have 0.1% dropped frames. We're probably okay.
Yeah, you're fine. It's an issue on my side trying to connect to it, I think. But hey, guess what? I'm gonna put this out there. Sam Lake, better human being and a better writer than an H.P. Lovecraft.
The thing about Lovecraft is that if he had done what he did like any later, then he wouldn't have been as famous for it. And I'm not talking about the racism.
No, you're talking about, like...
The unknown.
The gimmick. The gimmick that is the unknown, yeah. It's so scary, it defies belief and human construct. There are no words for how totally fucked up this tentacle is. For surely if you were to read of how fucked up this tentacle is, it would blow your mind. Yes. Nobody can get away with that after him.
That's like a one and done. Nobody can do that again.
It's like nobody can make another Quiet after Kojima did it.
That's right.
If one were to read my books, they might understand why I have so many racist caricatures in my fiction. You will come to regret your words and deeds.
Oh, jeez.
I saw what you wrote on Twitter. Yeah. I wonder if there are, like, recordings of him speaking, because I wonder if, like, his voice is recorded at any point.
Anything close to that?
It's probably not anything close to that. I wonder. Actually, never mind. I don't want to look up anything more about H.P. Lovecraft. I don't want to show that in my history.
Actually, I don't wonder. I have decided. Hey, you ready to go
I no
talk
longer
to some
wonder.
plants?
Sure. We got 3 minutes to talk to some plants.
Let's talk to some plants. And then once we go off the air, I can eat my dinner, because I'm really hungry.
Well, I want you to be happy and satisfied.
I want me to be not hungry.
And I should get whatever I want. And if I don't, I'll give each of you a big punch in the eye.
Smash cut to the guy who's just all eyeballs.
That's right.
Every time.
This is Twitch no longer wants to accept me watching the stream, so instead I'm just gonna stare at this looping GIF that you've sent me.
Plants.
And I hope that'll
Really
suffice.
suit. At least they can't talk back.
Because you know what? It's a good GIF. People are talking about actually Metal Gear is back in the news. Do you know that?
That really works, huh?
Talks of that movie are coming through.
Yeah?
Yeah. They've Oscar Isaacs is apparently
I hope those nasty hairs
is apparently
bothering you.
Solid Snake. Which, hey, cool. All right.
Did you know that plants like it when you talk to them?
I did know this.
This is known.
This is a known factor. Oscar Isaac, rather, is 5'9", which makes me happy because that means that at least in the world of live action, I'm as tall as Solid Snake.
Yep. Solid Snake is probably like average height. And if you're going to be sneaking around everywhere, you probably should be, you know?
Yeah. You don't want to be too tall and trying to sneak into a ventilation shaft.
You don't want to be like Lurch.
He shifts between 178 to 180 centimeters.
Translate that into stupid for me.
1.94663 yards, of course.
More stupid, or perhaps less stupid. I say as I sit here scratching my head.
178 is 5'10". So he probably goes between that and just under 6 feet. He is between 5'10" and 6 feet.
So he's average height.
His average height. Yeah, 5 feet 10 to 5 feet almost 11. And all of that is in the buns.
It's all
Colonel,
in the
I
field
have
guide.
exceptionally tall buns.
Do you have a family? I have a brother.
So one of my favorite things
miss him a
about like Japanese fandom is the fact that almost every character that you can think of has like a canonical weight and height
Yeah.
and blood type in a lot of cases.
Which I have to wonder what that's about. There has to be
blood
a
type
reason
is-
for it.
It's a blood type is a thing in Japanese culture in a way that it's not here. It's
That's
like,
interesting to me. Tell me more.
from what I understand, Japanese blood type, and I'll look this up to try and back it up in case I'm talking out of my ass.
Don't make
But I
yourself an
believe it's
idiot
one of
live
the-
on stream.
Yeah, unlike all those times, I do that anyway.
The director, but
Don't spend an hour and 20 minutes fighting Psycho
I have
Mantis.
no experience in leadership roles. I have no on-the-job training.
I believe, yeah, that it's one of those things. Like, so the other creepy thing that's a part of this is like measurements are a big thing in Japan.
Yes,
Like,
measurements. You don't have to say
Bust
anymore.
measurements and
You
waist
said
measurements,
more!
yeah. Listen,
I warned you about this.
it's important that we get this out there, okay?
Is it?
There's a
Chlorophyll
there's a
really
reason
brings out the green in
that
your
the
face.
PS1 camera
Oh,
like zoomed in so hard on Meryl as she
I
was
wish there
walking.
were more.
It's very
They're good
important
listeners.
in Japanese culture. Yeah, blood type personality theory. It means essentially nothing, but it's one of those things that's like, oh, will Senpai and I be compatible together? It's almost like how we treat
Like horoscopes and zodiac
Exactly.
signs and shit.
exactly like zodiac signs. It's pretty much exactly that.
Speaking of horoscopes,
Some studies suggest that there
go ahead.
statistically significant relationship between blood type and personality, although it is unclear if this is simply due to a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is it has 3 citations. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I knew of a song once called Horoscope, and I thought you would like that.
I do like that.
It seems like something you would like.
Horoscope would also aptly describe a couple of the relationships that I've been in. Hey, what's your sign? Oh god, please. If people can't tell, I'm a Virgo. You can tell because I suck.
No points for guessing what my sign is if you believe that kind of thing. You know what my sign is.
I know what yours is.
But does anybody else?
I do know what yours is. Anybody out there?
How do I get back up there?
Although research into the causal link between blood type and personality is limited, the majority of modern studies does not demonstrate any statistically significant association between the two. I really like the fact that it's like, although it is unclear if this is simply due to a self-fulfilling prophecy. I didn't expect self-fulfilling prophecy to show up on a Wikipedia article about like medical related anything.
Yeah.
This is a big thing. In many Asian countries, Facebook allows users to include their blood type in their profile. I don't like that.
I don't like that either. That's not something that fucking Facebook needs to know.
But I understand why in like an office scenario, you might want to put down. I could understand situations in which like an office would or any kind of employer would be like, "Hey, what's your blood type?" in case something happens on the job and we need to send you to
Get a
to a hospital.
transfusion.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, that's why you have like blood type on file and on your card, right?
Yeah, it's on your fucking driver's license, or at least it should be.
I don't like that being on Facebook. That's just dumb.
Is it on my
Maybe
driver's
so.
license? I've got it here.
You should read out your drive live on stream.
Yeah. Got my
Don't do
awful
that.
signature on it.
Oh man, this signature just says "get bent" in really sharp font.
That would be my signature.
It's like somebody just jammed a pencil into the side of the driver's license like really hard. Like when you get angry at a math test.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good signature.
It's got my sex, weight, height, eyes, and hair. The sex obviously says none. Unfortunately.
The hair is listed as blood, which is strange, but not inaccurate.
The hair is listed as brown when it should be black.
It should be black.
You've seen me. You know that I have black hair.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
No
Why
blood
are
type.
you lying? Why are you lying on your driver's license?
Why are you lying, driver's license?
Driver's license, more like a liar's license.
Damn.
Fucking go off, right?
Well, I'll tell you what. Rather than spend even more time eradicating the mold, how about we just call it here because we're already over, but we had to talk about blood types.
It's fine. That's fine by me. Anything that you want to say before we close out on Control?
Thanks for joining us for Control. It's been quite a ride, both in terms of gameplay and commentary,
Yeah.
especially today. I had a great time. I recommend that you check it out for yourself because there's a whole bunch of shit we didn't do. Should read all those notes because it's a good game. And also you should give Remedy your money so we can get Alan Wake 2, 3, and 4.
I would also say because of the issues that we've had playing it, and again we've got some pretty okay setups. That just to make sure that you don't like waste your money on a game that you can't play. I believe that the next generation of consoles, Remedy is going to be putting out a like updated version that's specifically meant to run on SSDs for those new consoles. Maybe wait until that comes out, and if it doesn't, then it's cheap on Steam, and that'll probably be your next best bet. But
Something to consider.
yeah, a great game that is hard to run.